Oh my God, hi guys, it's Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess. So let's go ahead and start with Mr. Redpath for tonight. I didn't know that my screen was not sharing. I thought it was gonna be there. So you guys as I'm reading, you just might see no background, just hear my voice. But Mr. Redpath himself has an update about his rectification. And the 48 fucking policies, 670 white women in 3 continents, Australia, aka all the Polynesian islands, UK and US, the 48 white men that committed suicide. Because when I start talking about black women and the father of gynecology, and where all these little black girls were missing in Oakland for white women to get gift. That's what we'll do. We'll just make a bunch of babies real quick, and then they'll be activated because the mothers. And okay, yeah, this I know what we need to do this time. Reproduction again. I haven't even started yet. And then somebody going to go investigate in terms of why they removed a certain scene from Beloved. Specifically, when I mentioned it about Matt Haney, that's what the fuck he was doing. So let's go. But I have a new book for our collection, and I just want to tell you guys that this one is near and dear to my heart. It's this one, The Superior Person's Book of Words. I like these little books. Like, okay, this is so dope. I like learning the language like this. Okay, so be warned in time, James, and remain as I do, incomprehensible. To be great is to be misunderstood. Aren't you right, Mr. Oscar Wilde, who had his hand in Cyborgia early on, playing with brotherhoods? That's going to come up tonight about the AFIC. Let's continue. There's something on this. Let's see, Mr. Redpath, what page? Around page, oh no, around page 60. Something will vex their soul. Let's look. Be careful with libel and slander online. Wow, she's mammiferous. That she has big boobies. He's mank. Not manka, mank. Having not achieved a condition, pretended to, desired, or deemed suited for. Wow. March Payne. Marzipan. Then it says The Matrix right here. And then something's coming up with Mr. Redpath. That's what needed to come out about Matrix. Because he's the one cursing everybody. Oh, Matrix, high priest. I just couldn't. Let's just talk later. Thank you, Matrix. It has something to do with this bitch that stole my divination board. Her dog was named Matrix. It was very unfortunate. Matrix got hit by a car because the magic that they put on her. And then they did something with, okay, well, he just ate this little bit of chicken and stuff like that. And they put magic on the fact that they ate the same specimen and brought that spiral towards him. It's okay, he's out. All right. Ooh. So, dictionary of the vulgar tongue. Dictionary of the vulgar tongue is going to come up, and they're playing with heavy frequency modulation because Mr. Redpath himself created so much policy that people said, I will have you lynched. That's a reversal. So let's start in AB. Okay. B. Yeah. No B. No. Yeah, there's one there. So let's look at B and then I. Oh, there's beef. They have cried beef on this. That means to give the alarm. She's a bitter, a wench who's, ooh, a lascivious 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 means that somebody that's like debilitated in a specific aspect of their mind, and then they allow like their body to get themselves into like specific configurations. Let me look this up in the dictionary. Okay, because there's something about this. A woman that's a bitter. It's a wench. She's a lascivious, rampant wench. That Give me a bishop. A mixture of water and wine. Oh, yeah. There's also this book. I need a black box, which is a lawyer. There's something about this back then playing with spell word. Thank you. Yeah, everyone knows about that Black's Law Dictionary. It's not that like, oh, two. Somebody's really mad and playing because I'm releasing hella shit that these Freemasons are doing sex rituals to pass. Black's Law Dictionary. It's online for free. They're playing with frequency modulation because I'm reading to you guys, and Mr. Redpath is channeling so, and they're so mad that his spirit is vexing these people so much that it's invoking the unthinkable, the unforgivable, but the justified and the rectified and the necessary. So let's continue. That's enough. I'm not architecture. Come and see this Mr. Redpath again. Hell, you have some people just clutching her pearls. Oh my God. Who? Dad, can that stop? Oh, I'm getting blood money. The reward given by the legislature on the conviction of highwaymen, burglars, etc. AKA, I'm getting blood money. Oh, they got blood, right? Oh, he's a blood. A riotous, disorderly fellow, a black man. Oh, that's a blood right there. Now you see Bloods and Crips. Oh, I'm getting blood money. AKA, I set up the high rollers. Now they got his weight in patty cake. Thank you, Daisy. And that's why I said come right here in this book. Didn't I tell you that he said start right here? And that's what we're about to start on tonight. Because somebody's finding out the fact that Juliana's not in jail is getting hella people clapped. So let's talk about this. Why is this so important? Because this is why this is going on. Because remember, white women have a manifesto that they think we don't know about to come play games in the office with you. And because you the mate. Because he done chose you. He don't want you. He wanted that marriage room. You done got set on that marriage room. Come here. So now she's vexed, and Sarah Sue is mixed up and twisted up, and she all knotted up in her soul and her spirit. She's so twisted, because, well, he done laid down twixt over here. He said his marriage room was over here. Now you guys are about to find out something about Ninth Ward, Louisiana in the 1800s. Okay, so let's start on page 8. Okay, cool. Ooh, this chapter is called Neighborhood Dramas and Adultery. The chapter is The Silence and Defiance of Black Men. Let's continue. Before we begin, it's important to know that I'm Mr. Redpath. I am right here. Listen to my voice, the conviction in my voice. Then look at that photo of that swarthy fellow. Is that me? Thank you. That's where these charges are coming from, Daisy. They kidnapped me, took my work and my story, cyborg here early on, because AFIC, we were making change. Then they created the United Nations. Look at this blunder now. It's a sore sight to see. It's poison through and through. So, who? The silence and defiance of black men. The liaison between Dorothea and Edmund was common knowledge, but only when Dorothea's husband entered a divorce plea did his friends and neighbors act. Their purpose was to prove Dorothea's guilt, and although this was readily accomplished, the Virginia legislature denied Louis Bourne his divorce. Ooh. Okay, but you poisoned, and it's with a Negro. I'm wondering, how did I get mixed up with you, and what happened to my other wife and my sisters, and what's laudanum? I feel like I'm having like deliriums and tremors in my mind. Ooh, yeah, whole sucking and fucking. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that baby's mixed. Ooh, oh. This is happening right now with your clunkler. Daisy, yeah, he grabbed her neck. What are you doing? So Mr. Louis Bourne couldn't get a divorce so he can go off and live his life with a mate. That was equally astute. Hi. Well, I'm fixing. We have just a few corns of cob here, a few loaves of bread. Oh, I'm from Ireland. We're just clicking here. You guys want to come and join? Oh, blood sausage, okay. Just put vegetables and things like that, Try to fill yourself. Okay, yeah. Yeah, woo. And ear clunklet, well, he's not getting out of this marriage. That's your child. Whew. CPS early on. Games early on. Playing games, putting niggas' names on birth certificates, and that's not the father to start cases. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Daisy, these are old games. The AFIC, we tracked all of them. While there was no doubt that Dorothea had carried on a liaison with the black man, that's blasphemy. I never did so. Never did I ever. This child, I don't know what you did. I heard about these different herbs that they got them. They come from a place called the Bayou. It's a place called Jamaica. I know. They said that it's something that the child can change different colors. It means that there is an impure spirit around. Maybe that was just God was sending me a message. Okay, well, you're free to leave this courthouse. To go and continue, Daisy, it's Mr. Redpath here, to continue to create inter-county, interstate, then international race riots. While there was no doubt that Dorothea had carried on a liaison with the black man, there was sufficient suspicion that Lewis had abused the wife he was unable to control, and that factor outweighed the evidence. Woo! This reiteration of facts is to say that the contest was between the transgressions of Dorothea, the white wife, and the transgressions of Lewis, her white husband. The behavior of Edmund, the black man, was not a factor in the minds of either local or legal authorities because he was lynched already. Or had his tongue cut out. Or he's on the run, baby. Hightailing it from the Klan. Again, Daisy, inter-county, interstate, then international race riots. Let's get stalked here. Be careful. So now the madness that's coming out here is a certain case where there's a man trying to leave his wife because she didn't vex him so. Do you hear this? Peptides, biochemical pathways, the same transgressions. And yet he cannot leave the marriage and relationship because the judge is involved. I don't see that in the marriage. Why can't I get a divorce? Alimony for how much? Wow, these trifles. These are trifles indeed. Sins of the flesh. Translate to the spiritual realm forever and ever. Holy fire burn you. Fire from the lake. What's that lake called? Lake of fire. Sulfur, brimstone, whatever the fuck is in there that's making into fentanyl on everyone's fucking food and Cheerios because of Asia. Daisy, again, their hand in this is out of control. Chinese shrimp cream, then Daisy. Chemicals and all kinds of shit in teriyaki sauce. Well, I'll be damned. Cornstarch and frying shit and magic. Yeah, and playing a bunch of games. Ooh. With corn silk. That's the original love spell. That's what Martha got caught with. Building molecular layers. You can't deny these hoes know about space. Daisy, that's the AFIC. We tracked all these herbs. That's enough. The fates of some of the black men in adulterous liaisons can be gleaned, but their motivations and sentiments are more difficult to discern. And this is, again, the AFIC, Daisy. What were their motivations? He had none. Laudanum, poisoned act, patty cake, how? Injections? Where did you get that needle? You got it from the doctor in the Union Army? Oh, no. To come and inject, oh, come on. You send it and get in instruction. Dorothea had a petition of her own among the collection of documents on the Bourne divorce case. Edmund's voice is a great deal more elusive because black men in such circumstances, of course, were not called upon to explain how I got kidnapped, my wife got lynched, my daughter is now with some like harem of white men and pregnant at 12. I don't have any act or weight, and what the fuck, my entire town, and now you're pregnant, and I just woke up, what the fuck? And you're speaking this weird ass language, what are you doing? It's a ritual here. Continue. They wisely offered nothing to white people. Within his own family or community, Edmund, not Castle Redmond, but Edmund, surely dealt with the consequences of a liaison with the white woman. But just about the only thoughts attributed to Edmund or any black person in the documents comes from his master, John Richardson, who planned it. For spell work on the baby, for Freemason and ear clunkle in. I have good reason for believing this man of mine has been disposed to forsake this woman. I have good reason to believe that, well, my slave is getting set the fuck up because he forsaked her, which has produced considerable discontent in her to come and play and plan and plot and start, and has been the cause of her often visiting my Negro's house and staying all night in the quarters with his whole family there. Okay, can you leave, miss? Okay, thank you. Well, this is my bed now. We just move on over there. Why? Because they had no dick then. So, if this story is true, Edmund was less than a completely willing partner in the liaison with Dorothea, and Dorothea imposed herself on Edmund at least some of the time, if not all the time. Not only is it impossible to trace events on this point, especially that nigga's lynched, or hightailed it out of there, or somewhere at the bottom of the Mississippi River, or the boat capsized, and he has something tied to his leg. But you by golly, wow. What reparations? Okay, right. Not only is it impossible to trace events on this point, but Dorothea and Edmund themselves probably understood the circumstances of their liaison in different ways. From Edmund's point of view, consenting to sex with a white woman may have contained an element of defiance. No matter what various people thought had transpired over the 2 years or longer in which Dorothea and Edmund had sex, Edmund was likely neither a complete victim nor, as an enslaved black man in the antebellum South, could he have been a free agent. Ooh. Ooh. So this is where we get in people playing with your name, the old kind, the real kind, and saying that I consented for this a white woman to come and lay down on me and lay on my manhood and tell me that I'm supposed to be. Listen here. Why are you here? Oh my God. And coming with chemicals and a bunch of shit. A lot of the times this bullshit didn't even get started. You have to be careful with this bullshit. Because why is this nigga not here and he's a slave to come and tell his story? For Edmund, too, the liaison with Dorothea may have been one choice among bleak and limited choices. Perhaps he deemed an enduring relationship with the black woman too risky. For example, entailing the possibility of separation through sale, or of his own powerlessness in the face of white sexual abuse or violence towards her. Now, Miss Daisy, it's Mr. Redpath here. What just happened at Ann Wooley's job? 3 white women got implicated and fired for playing and setting up cases on 100,000 children going missing in foster care to play with love spells. A clue may lie in the book called Killing the Black Body, which someone's going to go spread around. And another book that I'm not going to talk about because she has to come talk about how she stole that from somebody else with Ebony and Oden. Ooh. It's going through litigation now. Killing the Black Body, about how they built the medical system of black and brown women, mainly black women, abusing our bodies, kidnapping us from our kids, starting hella shit. Oh, you're coming for an interview to work at the factory, right? In LA? Okay. And getting put in hella clinical trials. The whole room missing. Like 400 black women here. Okay, well, it's registration day. Oh, come to the back. Okay, well, let's see. Maybe I get the job. It's 2 days later, they see and come out. Maybe they're doing orientation. 2 months later, I haven't seen my sister. Again, perhaps he deemed an enduring relationship. Oh my God, this dirty bitch. You know what? I'm gonna just run the fuck away. I'm gonna go find her. Cause let's go. They not about to sell both of us. Let's go. We both going. So how they gonna do it? Let's go. A clue may lie in 2 depositions. Whoa, legal language. Filed on behalf of Lewis Bourne. If taken in conjunction with John Richardson's story that Edmund at some time wished to forsake Dorothea's affections. First, the 11 neighbors who felt Lewis was justified in beating his wife came forward to refute rumors that Lewis had once ordered Dorothea whipped by a black man. Wow, trifles and scandals. And this right here, Daisy, the work of the AFIC to dismantle all of this. Then fake stories with what? NAACP. Credited by what? Fake Jews. My story, Daisy. My photos, Daisy. My organization, Daisy. Whoa. Who they're really on these niggas historically, because something's gonna come out about historical photos and playing in HTTP protocols, and niggas coming to find out who's playing games with. Ooh. What are you talking about? That's not me. I don't know what they're talking about. I never had family there. Ooh, ooh, whoa. NAACP is like two organizations before that. Ida B. Wells was a part of one too. It has something to do with a bunch of white women playing suffrage movement. Little things here and there. Okay. So we can do a lot more here. Okay, I'll write down that they lynched him and this and that. Bitch. Ooh, the whole house, huh? Yeah, this Cyborgia then, playing games then. This looks like a nigga that got clopped with an ESP screaming and crying. Oh my God. They don't make him like they used to, man. His DNA is tapped out. Why would I find myself enjoying a white woman? Why are you here? I don't want problems here. Let's leave. Well, I have a shotgun. Why would you threaten me? Well, you can leave. I'm gonna tell you threaten me. How'd you get here? That's enough. We tried that 2 days in, just privately. AFIC. The other work. The cleanup. And then this goon, this incest goon, they killed one of her people. What's her name? Also, too, some of you guys saw this whole thing with Stephanie and backdoor. The AFIC had to talk about that. Backdoor means when to backdoor somebody means like, oh, I'm cool with you, but I'm gonna like get you set the fuck up, and it'll be backdoor. Like, okay, open the back door. I'll come in like that. Oh, I had so much fun back then. You have to get an abortion. You need chemicals. I started Planned Parenthood. You don't need any of that. Why would you need all that happiness here? Well, you have a new friend here. It's a white man playing black women. So you can go get dick from the hood and sterilizations, pouring hella shit in the supply. And the original STAR testing and standardized tests in schools for kids was they created it so they can sterilize people. Like, oh, your scores are low. We have to perfect the race. And then creating eugenic society, which created Henrietta Lacks, who looks like my stepmom. All right. But I mean, I'm sitting right here, right? I mean, like, none of this at all. None of this at all can, like, ever replicate itself in, like, 2020, whatever. Anyways, people tell me, yeah, that's gonna just make do. I let that bitch go kill herself. I worked hard for my mate. I don't know what she's talking about. We need more kids. So whatever you guys are doing with those cases, like, hurry it up. Let them know. The kids are not going back home. Also, something too, there's a bunch of families. I got a lawyer, and they're looking for their kids. Yeah, they did, ooh wee. Tyrone Bigum's wall. They did, there's a chemical in the sky. So just know that, you guys. It usually happens when there's a chemical in the sky. So anyways, something had gotten started where some of these kids have to go back to their family's home, and that's going to come up too with the AFIC foster care early on. Well, these Negroes, they can't take care of their children. Why do they need to be removed and to go on with white women? Oh, these poor Negroes. Well, you don't have a family anymore. You can come in here, setting the whole time on fire. Daisy again. Inter County, interstate and international rights, playing games. You're watching it here right now with Juliana Cottrell and Castle. A white woman that's mentally ill, and then a black man that's mentally iller. Yeah, he had me whipped by a black man. Are you sure? That's how I came with child. Oh, wow. Your whole farm, your everything. Our railroad and everything, Union Army, bitch. Whew, that Civil War, this is what they did for 4 years. That Civil War should have been like 6 months. AFIC, everybody knew. Something with, we can go over here and play with this radio frequency and this and that. They can get this there, here, there, and there, and there, pass the messages all the way around, get it to California. Cyborgia then, playing games then. Phone tapping and wiretapping then, Pac Bell then. Setting the whole fucking Chinatown on fire then. Building and creating the Chinatown boys and the Chinatown girls and getting clapped out then. Yeah, that bullshit created like hoods. Created warriors, thank you. They once were warriors, they always were. It's the end of the story. Second, Joseph Perkins, who had known Lewis for 2 decades, recalled hearing a fight that took place a few years between Dorothea and a slave belonging to Lewis's brother. Because they were all involved. Okay, ooh, that's trifling. And so, wow, will you be removed and she'll be with that child? And well, you never know. It's not that bad. It's just a neighbor. Just take over. You take over his farm and you never know. Ooh, till the land and stuff like that. And her father's here. And what's this? You carrying on with your father? And what? Why am I tied to a chair? You just need to watch. Okay, bye-bye. What language is that? Why do I feel this on my body? Yeah, playing black magic. Whoo. Mr. Perkins recalled hearing of a fight that took place between Dorothea and a slave, in which Dorothea came away with some bruises. You're getting too fast here. They're getting free because of you. They had to get him dead. It's happening now. That's where we're going to get papers. Come whoop her ass now. These witnesses wished to assert that Lewis had never set a slave violently upon his wife. Open up the possibility that the elderly Lewis had done exactly that in his efforts to get his aberrant wife to obey him. But it is also conceivable that this testimony points to a scenario of conflict between Dorothea Bourne and another slave man in the neighborhood, thereby possibly backing up John Richardson's version of the liaison between Dorothea and Edmund. Edmund's master had good reason to paint Dorothea as the perpetrator, leaving his slave property safe from a bad reputation. But it is not completely out of the question that the slave who beat Dorothea had been coming to the defense of Edmund or trying to put a stop to unwanted advances toward himself. She got her ass whooped. Again, Daisy, these hoes know what it is in the 1800s. Be careful. She already knows what it is. She can get her ass stabbed, whooped up, and everything sitting sideways, sitting all the way upside down. I can get that bitch turned. Let me know. Just let me know what you want to do. You don't have to vex with me. I'm just going over there. I never called the Klan. I never did anything such. I'm a woman of God. I'm a woman of virtue. I just wanted to come see if you Negroes needed some help. Help with what, bitch? With his marriage room. I got one. It's right here. We share it. We got a house right here. It got a foundation. You a bust now. Call the demolition man. Let's get up out of here. Out. Whew. The original Sage and Palo Santo, get out. They couldn't stand the smell, Daisy. They didn't mix in with the whites. They could stand it a little bit. These ones, they can't stand all that spiritual shit. They got these fake colors. They can't stand the smell of all these spiritual things. You don't see them with it that much. Putting a bunch of chemicals on them and shit like that. Destroying and inverting several planets. Edmund's voice may remain largely inaudible. Edmund's voice, right, may have remained largely inaudible on the dynamics of this liaison. But in a few other antebellum cases, the voices of black men, the AFIC, and our secret little communities that we are forming now, thank you, black, white, and brown, or whatever, walking hand in hand, to end this nonsense of inter-county, interstate, international fucking race riots. Because you want dick? Are we not watching this now? Okay. In these instances, the level of defiance in black men matches that of some of their partners, supposed partners. In 1847, in the North Carolina Piedmont, a slave named George, supposedly, just say that. Which George? There's 8 Georges belong to this masquerader. And where was him? He just denied me. Oh, I said the wrong thing. Papa Coca. It's playing. A slave named George was charged with the murder of a white man named James Meadows. I didn't know such thing. I did never such a trifling thing. They blaming me. Why? Why me, Mister? Why, Master? Why me? My hand? Why? I'm a blacksmith, Master? Why? George had not only stabbed and beaten James, who happened to be telling and a part of the AFIC, so it was one of our own. And Daisy, and it's coming up now for a fire. And who started what? And you're currently in between with international flights, inter-county flights to go into the jail, interstate flights to go play with Kamala, and international flights to go get dick from prisoners of war. Wow. This is such a trifle. It's such a trifle. It's poison. She's poisoned. Woo. Well, it says right here, he kept the gully. Mr. James, he had a wife, and she was, okay, well, I don't know that he had a gully. What's going on with this? Why would he kill him? For what? He's not messing with her. That's a lie. Leave that black man down. Don't create a double tragedy. What happened to my husband? We'll go on and do his funeral. Let me join the AFIC. I'm tired of this mess. How many good white men and all these black men disappearing to the local gallows, and next thing you know, you're popping back and forth with babies in this weird language and these weird men, and what are you doing? Let me come and see what you guys got going on here. Yeah, whoa. Right, wow. My name is coming up very soon. I'm in this book. Whoa. Wee wee. He stabbed and beat Mr. James with both his hands. Both of them. Well, one of them has to go. Master why? Fixed and fastened about the penis and testicles of James, he did violently squeeze. I never did such a thing. Well, the punishment has to be just equal. It just has to be that equal. Since he thought that he was going to go on and be with some nigger and, well, my husband now. Because he was looking at me and my husband stood up for me. So, oh shit, even though I was doing all this and woo, we got that from him, woo, baby. Well, you have to cut off his testicles and everything. So, And how this gets started? So, their bloodline will never live again because if they can't mate and reproduce, okay, well, ooh, I thought that then the iguana or octopus speech would die. Oh, okay. James's wife was named as an accessory in the crime. How? That I was sleeping with the black man and we turned on my husband? How? That we turned spite and vengeance on my husband? Why? Who did such a thing? Oh my God. Ooh. And witnesses noted. What witness? My children and all these. My baby, she's like 6 months. I had baby now. Look at me breastfeeding now, baby. Now having land and husband and house. Goodbye. Come, Papa, let's go. Whoa. She was named as an accessory. Daisy, I own magic to curse all these whores for playing with my name back then. What they did to me was disastrous. I died in the gallows. I lived there my whole entire life. Why? I ate once a week. Why? My baby and my husband. Why? We were friends with the AFIC. What happened? Somebody took our name and our family. That's not me. I think she's in the local jail. Let's go see. Okay, but she's in the local jail. Who was that in her house and her family? What are you doing here? What do you mean? What's that accent? I'm one of you. Chemical in the working room. Woo. Back then playing. There's something they were playing with back then. Woo. Woo. Because she was an accessory to the crime because she had shown hostility towards her husband. And George was sentenced to death in county court, but on appeal, the judgment was reversed. Thank you. None of y'all gonna eat in this town if you don't stop this mess. We the only one growing things here. Okay. It was reversed on the technicality, because not coincidentally, ironically, actually, regarding the evidence of a conspiracy between Mary and George. The technicalities of the conspiracy. What is the technicalities? It didn't happen. Do you see how they played with bullshit back then? And look what they did with this docket in front of me. The case of Redding Evans in Southern Redding Evans. Sounds like Rayful Edmond. This is weird. Okay, Redding Evans in Southern Georgia. Yeah, there's something like that. In the volatile late 1850s reveals a stark example of defiance on the part of a black man who entered into an adulterous liaison with a white woman. Whoa, and no pussy baby. Whoa. It's wow. Oh, no, you right. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you right. Okay, that's fine. I had my pleasure time. You fine. I'm going to kill all of y'all. You trying to curse me. Lay down in that dish. keep on seeing so many of y'all. Because they all look alike because they stuck in fucking their family. Redding was a free man of color who kept the company of a woman named Mrs. Smith, who lived apart from her husband James. Redding Evans and James Smith had an antagonistic relationship. Why? An account of Evans' criminal intimacy with Smith's wife. So we just had to go down there and take the whole farm and all of it, all the meadows, all of it, because you were convicted. When James Smith complained that Redding Evans' chickens were eating his corn, for example, Redding told the white man to leave those chickens alone or he might kill them. Are you listening to this? Yeah. Their relationship, they're like really wild. Like their families are really crazy. They get together, they do magic on people. Yeah, me and my boyfriend, no, because he was trying to date me and she was like trying to date like him. Yeah. It's like really weird. Look at the names that are in her phone and his phone. It's a person that got together. His name was like some dude on my phone. And then there's a female playing in King and I's phone with some female that is like somebody he went to school with like a long time ago. That's like married and has hella kids and like something that's going on with that. It's like bullshit. Starting hella shit. Like, do you see what they're saying? Okay, they used to get together and like, oh, my husband did this and say that you did that and say that he did this and all this got started. And, for the husband to get rectification, okay, he deserves that judgment. That's my corn the chickens are eating. Why are you taking my chickens? Leave them here. And the chicken herself, I didn't ask you to eat me. Just playing with magic. I belong to this federation. She's so delusional. One day, when Redding Evans and Mrs. Smith were in bed together, James Smith ordered the black man out of the house. Failing in this demand, James Smith departed, but Redding Evans followed him and knocked him down and made him come back in the house and sit down. And Evans went back to bed with Smith's wife in the presence of Smith and his children. That's such trifle indeed. Are you sure? I saw it. Yeah, he came in my mammy's room and he told my mammy to lay down there. It's his marriage room. Another morning, James Smith tried to retrieve his children because he had heard that Redding Evans was going to run away with his wife. The kidnap of white children, Master, Mr. I nevers. Decline how? Right. At the same time, the black man was approaching the house. The white man pulled his shotgun and fired at the black man. Redding Evans, wounded, then fired at James 6 times, killing him. In these 2 cases, the black men were on trial, not for sex with the white woman, but for violence towards the white man. Although that may not have differed had the black man been white men. The conscious resistance to white authority behind the actions of these transgressing black men caught in an already dangerous endeavor is significant, if not remarkable. The slave George was allowed to live almost certainly because of his value as property. The free man Redding Evans was convicted of murder in 1861. As white Southerners clapped down on free people of color with the coming of war, the execution was presumably carried out. So it's saying here, yeah. He was then convicted after he was found free in 1861 because, oh, okay, well, it's a civil war. You ain't going free. But the war's over now. That's what it was, the Civil War. Bodies have to rack up so you can know. And there's something with farms getting turned off for no food. In the wild, wild west. Okay. Woo! As for the local white people's reactions to black men who consorted with white women, neither indignity nor outrage are detectable in the documents. To be sure, white husbands in some of these divorce cases explicitly indicated that adultery with the black man was more deplorable than the same crime with the white man. Joseph Gresham, for example, proclaimed that his wife's adulterous behavior was aggravated by the fact that it was committed and carried on with the man of color. It's something in his soul that just had her running around. Well, he must be lynched before he spares this sickness to these pure white women. Let's go ahead. We got a whole bag of acting patty cake. Oh. Now, in this nonsense here of, okay, well, yeah, the black man and white woman were messing around and shit like that, and he was coming around and starting shit and sending the slave and okay, master, and why, master, and why? And okay, he dead now, master. They taking the farm and taking the land. And, okay, what do you mean? What? I never did such a thing. I would never call that on my husband. And some bitches been involved because Cyborgia. And what can I get? Will you go ahead and get that land? Then all of them dying. Ooh, I'm done. I don't know if I should keep on going. I feel like there's some more. Yeah, somebody's finding out that they got money on their head. Okay. Finding out people are not fucking playing with them, period. I don't mean to bite, aka to overimpose. Or, I just won't bite. But yeah, you're being a bite now. She's such a bat. It's a low whore. That's what the bat. It says, oh, they have bay fever. It's oh, you have bay fever, or you're sick, oh, you have bay fever. Bay, like Babe on Rue. Like, oh, you like to bay, you like to lie. The influence of Nigeria here. They bay. She bay. It's a lie. Oh, you gay. Girl, you go bay. Yeah, like pigeon and all kinds of stuff, mixing ebonics. Ooh, she's so OD. And then they said, oh, de. Somebody that's slow and doing too much. OD is like off deck. I'm not going to start that. That's sealed. A term of ridicule applied to convicts who sham illness to avoid being sent to Botany Bay. What's Botany Bay? A bunch of shit back then, Daisy. That's how they were poisoning black men and getting them into these different chemical configurations with erections to get babies. Botany Bay. Oh, I'm sick. I can't come around. This is, I have this new thing. It's passed on through the marriage room and the marriage broom. Oh, right. Playing. That must be bay fever. Oh, come on. Woo! Goofy, like 60 years old. A big towering over a little ass boy, like 15, 16 years old. Oh, you nice and strong. Whoa, whoa. Not gonna start it. Bye. Still, the detailed narratives in the many depositions contain no hint of any public or private violent retribution toward Edmund. Again, because he was lynched. Nor of white neighbors' wishes for violent retribution to be carried out by Edmund's master. Nor do the documents contain the least expression of white outrage, nor even a glimmer of the most causal disapproval towards the slave man for his liaison with the white woman, because they knew that she started it. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, Mr.Redpath, somebody gave him a gift. Thank you. He's going to get a good meal tonight. I think we're good. People understand my story. It's important that people understand my story in this inter-county, interstate, international race riots. Because white women just cannot stay away from black men sexually. And what that did to thousands of black women and innocent white people back then to get land, to move it over to Cyborgia in Russia then. What year was the Holocaust? Be careful. We'll see you guys later. Don't be vexed. Just pray.